try. He'll give us about 20 quid, 20 pounds or whatever. Telling me he's paying
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I hope you're here because you want to take part in this breakout session. As you can read here, service above selfie, social media in the Rotary family. If not, you've still time to correct your error, but please stay here because you will hear something interesting, we hope. We are going to present you our social media project in the District 1940. When we applied for the breakout session, we had to choose a category, and the category we choose is called Idea Exchange. So this is our motto. We want to exchange ideas with you and present our idea. Well, it's like at a fashion show. Present our idea of social media for the whole Rotary family. We are District 1940, and our district is the northeasternmost district in Germany, and it's the biggest one. We use social media not only for Rotary, but for the whole Rotary family, and that's what we are going to present to you. So it's not going to be much about selfies, but it's going to be a lot about service. Well, let's present ourselves. My name is Birgit Weichmann. I'm from Rotary Berlin Gendarmenmarkt, and I'm a former Rotaractor from Regensburg in Bavaria and in Oxford in England. Up to Edda.
Hello, my name is Edda. I am an Inavil member, and my club is Berlin Tiergarten.
Hi, my name is Leonard. I'm a former Rotary Exchange student and Rotex member, and I'm currently a member of Rotary Berlin International as well as Rotary Berlin Platz der Republik.
Hi, my name is Henny. I'm from the northern part of Germany, from Rostock, and I was the founding president there of the first Interact Club in our district. And now I moved to Berlin, and now I'm at the Rotary Club Berlin International. Sasha.
Hi, and my name is Sasha Rasmussen. I'm from the Rotary E-Club Berlin Global, and I have the pleasure to present you Paula, which isn't with us now as she's taking her application exams for college education, but she's on our display.
Hi, I'm Paula, and I'm a member of Rotex 1940. I've been to Poland as a long-term exchange student and also to India with the New Generation Service Exchange program.
So let me see, who is amongst us? Who is from Rotary? Wow, great.
And is there anyone here from Inavil?
Any Rotaractors around us? Or have been former? Awesome.
Is there any interactor around here, or former interactor? Yay! Perfect.
Yes, and this would have been Paula's place to ask you, are there anyone from Rotex here? Former inbound or outbound students? Someone who participated in one of the exchange programs? There's one. Any one of you hosted one of the exchange students? Yeah, that's great. That's a spirit. Thank you.
Sorry, it's my part. Quick introduction, who we are and where we are. This is District 1940. We are in the northeast of Germany, Berlin and the surrounding states. And in this district, we have 93 Rotary clubs, 13 Inner-Wheel clubs, 13 Rotary clubs, 1 Interact club, and Rotex. And altogether, we have approximately 4,800 members. So as you can see, it's a pretty big district, and there are many really cool social projects going on in this district, but hardly anyone knew about it. So we figured A social media presence would help us to communicate both internally and externally of what's going on in our districts. And as you might know, social media is pretty time consuming. So we said, why don't we bundle our efforts and create one social media account for all 5 members of this extended Rotary family. We came up with a logo, and we wanted that logo to represent what we stand for. It's working hand in hand, getting things done. So we have 5 hands. The first hand represents Rotary, and I don't think I need to explain Rotary to you. Second hand is Rotex. So Rotex, we heard before, is an organization of former Rotary Exchange students who help prepare the next generation of exchange students for their time abroad, but also help do trips, for example, for the inbounds that are currently visiting our district. You will hear about this more later. Next is Interact. Interact is one of the youth programs of Rotary. It's aimed at school kids aged 12 to 18, and it's intended to teach some leadership skills and also get these young people familiar with the concept of service. Next up, this is Inner Wheel. Inner Wheel is the largest independent international women's organization in the world and is historically connected to Rotary and shares many of the same values. Last but not least, there's Rotaract. It's also one of the youth programs of Rotary, aimed at students and young professionals between the ages of 18 and 30, also to develop leadership skills. So this is our full logo. The German thing next to it says Rotary Family in the District 1940, and it's a pretty big family. We have people from 12 years old, the youngest interactors, to well above 80, if you consider Rotary and Inner Wheel. So this is our approach. We have one common social media channel, or several channels for everyone in our district who feels connected to the Rotary idea. Quick show of hands, is there anyone who does something similar to this? Okay, cool. So we did some research, we haven't found anything yet. Okay. So, Birgit will tell you how we got started.
Before I'm going to tell you how everything started, let me tell you that we are live streaming this year on our channel. So if you've got anybody around who isn't here but who want to tell them that they can follow us, Rotary 1940, that's our Facebook channel, so you get live stream of what's happening on here on stage. Well, how did we get into what we are doing right now? Well, everything started at a Rotary bar camp in February 1916 when we discussed that 2016, yes, we are very old. We feel very old. 2016, when we discussed about social media in our district, because until then, our district was not present in social media, and very, very, very few clubs of our district were on social media. We discussed it, but no solution. Then 1 year later, in 2017, February, again a bar camp, we discussed it again, and then we came up with the idea, well, let's do it for the whole Rotary family. One channel, so all the clubs who don't want to go into social media will be presented on our district channels. So now we have 5 channels with 4 channels for the whole Rotary family, for the 5 family members. Yes, and then we started in August 2017 with 7 people. We got more, right now we are about 12. And we started, then opened our channels on the December 1st, 2017 with an advent calendar, an online advent calendar presenting projects from 24 clubs. And this is is a picture taken at the last bar camp this year. You see, we've already got our t-shirts or polo shirts on. Yes, the back is also interesting. Because we found out branding is important. We have a logo, which have already been presented to. We are wearing shirts. We are distributing cards. You got some cards. We've already distributed 10,000 cards in our district, in all clubs. And we have brought 7,000 cards here for you to take into your clubs so that they can see what we are doing. And we've got a roll-up, which we put up on all the Rotary, Inner Wheel, and all the other family members' conferences and so on. And we also went and go to clubs and present the idea there. And now we are here to present the idea to you on the convention. Our team is about 12 to 17 people coming from the 5 family members, and the team is growing, the interest is growing, our knowledge is growing, and also what is the most important result of our social media efforts is the cooperation between the family members is growing, and this is one of our biggest achievements. One thing is very special about our social media presence is we are hyper-local, which means everything that we share on our channels is exclusively district-centered. We are not interested in posting things from somewhere else, only when it's interesting for us. When for example, when something is happening on the international level and it has an influence on us, like for example, what Barry Ressin says about Rotaract, and we put it onto our channel because we have many Rotaractors that are included in it. We show what has got an impact on us. Next, please. We have been feeding 4 channels from the very beginning, which is Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and a blog. And we started with that online calendar, which I already told you, and then we got on with New Year's wishes, again with 24 clubs giving New Year's wishes. So we include clubs from the 5 family members. Next, please. Well, this shows a cooperation on district level because as our project is integrative, it's also integrative as far as projects are concerned, which means our social media project triggered more cooperation between the family members. For example, this is a Rotaract project, an annual kids camp organized by Rotaract. This treasure chest, for example, was produced by a Rotaract club and a Rotary club. It was Rostock, isn't it? Prenzlau, one in our district, and it's an inner wheel lady helping at that kids camp. Another picture from the kids camp shows you that for the very first time since we installed the social media programs and people learned about projects in our district, even Rotarians shared the idea and helped in the kids camp, and interactors, Rotaractors, and inner wheel ladies. The next slide shows you the annual Kindertag in the Berlin Zoo, organized by Rotary, giving 2,000 socially disadvantaged kids of Berlin the chance to visit the zoo and be entertained. Also shows you the participation of the other members of the Rotary family. The next picture shows you, we called it We Move to Connect. It shows you the Rotarians, Rotaractors, and inner wheelers dancing at a charter gala. By the way, one of the dancers is amongst us here. The photo perfectly depicts our aim of social media for the whole Rotary family. It shows action, it shows energy, it shows moving together, as we do. It shows getting things done and getting inspired by what we see others do. During these 22 months that we have been doing the project, we learned that social media is the best and quickest and most instantaneous way to communicate about project achievements within the whole Rotary family of Rotary, Innerwheel, Rotaract, Interact and Rotex. By the way, we work at no cost or low cost. Our currency instead is time, commitment and dedication. And it's a lot of time we spend in meetings and in organizations, be it online or offline. We have many offline meetings. Well, that's my part, and now I pass the mic to Henny.
As mentioned, another big part of the Rotarian family is Rotex. So these are inbounds and former outbounds, and they have different projects. They travel a lot together, and they have different trips. For example, the Rotex Euro trip. So the Rotex students can send text about the trips to us, and we will publish it on our blog, for example, as a travel diary. Also, we share it on Facebook, and especially the photos on Instagram. So everyone can read about it, and Rotex members can share their stories. It's very important, especially for students who might want to be or want to do the exchange program with Rotary, so that they can see what all the other Rotex students and inbounds are having as a experience. Yeah, so they can see what kind of impression they get. So here you can see the members of the Interact Club Rostock and members of the Rotaract Club Rostock. And so this is my former Interact Club. And I can say as the founding president that working together in the Rotarian family is very important, and it has improved. Since we share a lot via social media, so for example the Rotary clubs know what we are doing, and the Interact Club knows what the Rotaract Club is doing. And so Interact is for students aged 12 to 18. These young people use Instagram a lot. So we use Instagram especially for Interact and Rotaract pictures. Maybe we can talk about that later in the discussion if you want to. But also, Facebook is very important for the Rotarians, so they can read about our project, get inspired, maybe get involved. And yeah, hopefully we can found another Interact club in our district. So that's also why we need to publish those pictures and stories, so that all the other clubs see that it's very cool to have an Interact club in their city. And yeah, do you have several? Do you have experiences where like several members of the Rotarian family work together? Anyone? Yeah. So maybe we can discuss about that later. What your experiences are, what is working, what's not working. Okay, now I hand over to Sasha.
Thank you, Henny. I see there's. Yeah, as Birgit mentioned, we have. I just try to juggle now with my cards, with my microphone and the pointer. Yeah, as Birgit mentioned, we are feeding 4 channels. The main channel we are working with is our blog. We are still using one WordPress blog because in Germany the audience is very reluctant to get connected to social media channels like Facebook, like Twitter or Instagram, because they have some fear that their private data isn't secured there. So this is the way for us to give Rotarians and other members of the Rotarian family who are not so keen on social media a very accessible way to join into it, to get the spirit of social media. I see. Better about that. A picture tells a story of more than 1,000 words. Imagine what stories you can tell with 24 pictures in a second. So YouTube is one of the central points of our channels. Actually, the very first post we did on social media was on YouTube, when we had a video of our first editorial board meeting on that. And he just told you that the younger generators, the interactors, the Rotaractors, which are part of our team, they were teaching us Rotarians on the ways how social media is used nowadays. So Birgit and I, we thought about, Facebook is the largest network that there is in the world, so we should concentrate on Facebook. And they say, no, that's not the real and the right approach. We, as the younger people, those who you like to connect, are on Instagram, and so we started Instagram. And what should I tell? They are right. Instagram is nowadays the most successful channel we are feeding. And there is, you know it, Facebook. The one channel which is used by most people in the world, and also the channel where we can share the most different content. On YouTube you have video, on Instagram you have just images. Here on Facebook we can also tell stories and connect all other channels live. We can hand out videos as well as pictures and stories. And you might have noticed, and I won't show it on the next slide, which there isn't, I missed out Twitter. For maybe an American audience this would seem odd, but here in Germany Twitter is a tool which is almost exclusively used as a tool for political discussions. So we try to reach Rotarians and those who are interested in Rotarians, and we don't try to touch in with our politicians or our journalists. And by the way, we talked about branding. You can all touch all of those channels by one handle, at Rotary 1940. Over to Edda.
Sasha gave you a brilliant introduction of how we are using the 4 channels, our blog, Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. But how do we feed these channels? A club, Rotary, Innerwheel, Rotaract, Interact or Rotex sends us a description about an event. They included pictures, video and a contact address. And so the club can be present on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube without login in these portals. So it is a solution without any barriers. This contribution will be addressed to all social media members. We decided internally how we will manage to feed the channels. It depends on the membership of the organization or the current availability. One important point is that the stories which are more complex we like to put into the blog. You can find all our announcements by using this blog. Topicality has priority. And how we are working in our team. We collect the content, the pictures, the announcements of the project of the club via email and feed the channels. In some cases we are going directly to an event to report the news or create a video. With such videos we feed our YouTube channel, but all in all Instagram is our most successful channel. We are engaged to elaborate the data compatible for the medium. Every description will be edited in terms of structure and wording. The interaction is creating out of commenting and posting. Let's distribute new and useful information via these new technologies fast. For every month, we have an editorial calendar, and our meetings will take place in a 4 to 6 weeks rhythm. The members who cannot be present switched into the group via Skype. When all is checked, the responsible member feeds the channel or channels. For the internal workflow and operative process, we use collaboration and communication tools. The most important one is WhatsApp. We also use a project management tool and a data processing tool. So every team member can pick up information and tasks immediately. With a private video editing software, we can edit and cut videos in a safe way, add watermarks and belly tie. An illegal use is impossible. Another tool is the social media salon, an after-work meeting with a keynote speaker. For a small number of interested people, we let know about our work, collect more ideas and spread our work. After our first salon, we generated some more members. All the important facts are fixed in our guideline for the social media presence on the Rotarian family in District 1940. It is a great help for new members. It is like a treasure chest. It is marked the name of our channels, access for the channels, access for the collaboration and communication tools, wording, how to use abbreviations, sequence of the organizations, genitals old, pronouncing of the organizations, hashtags and their news, always with the district number 1940, and 2 special categories, Story of the Month and Foundlings. Special information for using the channels, like chair policy, all the information about the colors of the logos, the font types and font sizes, frequently asked questions, tips and tricks. Without login, the user could view, save and in privacy. The new Generation Data Protection Regulation since May 2018 is being applied, especially for the pictures. And now to Lennart again.
Okay, Sasha and I will we will switch over to the browser and we will do a little live demo of our channels. Can you all see this? Okay, so this is how our blog would look like in a desktop browser. It's a WordPress blog, so you have all the articles in a reverse chronological order. This is the latest blog post from this convention, so every member from District 1940 could send in their personal favorite pictures from this convention, and we posted them on Facebook and also collected them in this blog, so everybody who's at home can follow the district here in Hamburg. This, for example, is from a Rotary Club in Berlin. They did a charity run and generated 2,500 euros in donations, and so on. I think everybody has seen a blog before. There's different categories on the site, so you can get more information on the district, on the different family members, on the team, contact us, and also send in your articles or your information that you want us to share on our channels. Another nice thing to find stuff, if you've ever looked at a Facebook timeline, if you want to find something that happened a month ago, you would have to scroll down quite a bit, right? So on our blog we have categories, so I'm just going to jump in and show you one of our blog posts of let's go here to the Ngc Exchange. Paula, who's not with us today, she is having her auditions, went to India last year, and she had several long-form articles about her experience in India, and so everyone in the district could follow her, what she was doing. There's videos, there's pictures, there's a lot of text. Another cool thing, our exchange students went on this 1 month-long bus trip, and they sent us in their personal pictures and experiences via WhatsApp. We had this like a travel diary of all of our inbounds. You can see the map. That map would update every day when they went to another stop, and for every other day there was like just a few sentences of what they experienced, a few pictures, and we collected everything in the blog, but all of these separate snippets was also a Facebook and an Instagram post. So this is our blog. Gonna hand over to Sasha to show you the YouTube channel.
Yeah, just over to the YouTube channel, which is the next one. Just to give an impression, what videos we're taking there is the one video which maybe started it all from the bar camp. And as you can see, Paula is also in it. She's some kind of actor woman for us. Oh, and for those of you who don't know, they're used to German, there is English translation by Google.
Heute beim Barcamp und es macht so unglaublich viel Spaß. Ich habe schon viele Einblicke gekriegt, viele coole Leute getroffen und ich freue mich jetzt schon auf nächstes Jahr.
Short introduction. As you see, dogs and children are always working with videos, so I can recommend you to use them also in your videos if you like to. And the most successful channel, as taught, is Instagram. The most followers that we have are on Instagram, and there's also the most interaction. There's the most view to click, to link, to share and like ratio than in all other channels. Here at the convention, we were really extensively working with Instagram. So every hour we had about one post on Instagram. And for these days, we changed from our policy to handing out only German content. We also did some English content so that we can also address all of you. And as it looks like you are here because you get to know. All our channels are. Sorry, technical problem. Okay, which I can't show you yet because it is my preparation was not so fine as I thought it is. Every channel is also responsive, so you don't need a browser. You can also do it on a smartphone, which is the way that most of nowadays people are accessing social media channels. And it's sorry that this isn't happening, but I think you get an impression if you're going to Instagram and add Rotary 1940 as a handle after that on your smartphone. Last but not least is our Facebook channel, which we also had several posts in the last days to give those of our members of which haven't been here, some impression on what is happening on a convention. And yes, as we are now on Facebook streaming, I could give you a small impression what it looks like, what the other ones who are not in this room you might be seeing now.
So this is Martin might be seeing now.
Yeah, and that covers it. I hope you liked. Is anyone of you doing the same on club level, on district level, on zone level maybe? If so, we would like to hear your impressions, your suggestions, and your questions afterwards.
Does anyone have any questions regarding the channels while we are here before we jump back to the PowerPoint? We can look into specific sections of the web pages if you want to. We can also do it after the presentation. Any questions? Yes, there's one. Hang on, Lothar, we have a microphone in the audience.
I was wondering about the music you used. Is it a music which, who does it belong to? Because you have
Good point.
copyright.
Good point. We use royalty-free music, so it's not copyrighted. There's a section on YouTube with royalty-free music that you can use without any issues. Good point.
Yeah, very good one. Also, all the video material, also the photograph material, we ask if it's candidate that we have the exclusive right to use it. So, yeah, we are using, the copyright protection is something which we care for. There's another question over there.
Yeah, thanks. I'm not sure if you mentioned it, but what video program do you use?
Okay, so the video, I made the video, I used Final Cut, so you have to buy it actually, but yeah, so you can use different kind of programs. I think there's also like Windows Video Maker. I used Final Cut because I can work with it very well, and yeah, so there's a special website actually where you can, you have to log in and you pay like you pay some amount, I don't even know how much you pay, and then you can use like a lot of music, so that's why what I was using there. Okay, does it help? Yeah, okay.
Yes, as far as the channels go, is there a way to post to multiple channels at once, or you have to go to each one individually and do pretty much the same type of a posting, the same word?
Actually,
can you leverage something? Is there a way to leverage, I guess is what I'm saying, multiple channels?
When we started the project, we were talking about tools which would do cross post, but none of them was some for our liking. So these days we are posting on each channel individually, and we seldomly do cross posts. So each channel has its own content. We center it on our blog. On our blog, you will have also the latest Facebook post, the latest Instagram post, and the latest YouTube post.
The issue here is most of these different platforms require different aspect ratios for the photos. For example, Instagram is always a square. On Facebook, you would use portrait mode. So we customize it for every channel.
But just one thing, you could do it, like there are, you could do like I think it's Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So you just set out one post and it's posting it. But on Facebook, the people want to read and see different things than the younger people on Instagram, for example. So that's why we decided to not post everything on the same way.
You are content with this answer? Well, let me take it a step further then. Is there a way, maybe you're going to cover this coming up, but my issue is, you know what the word gatekeeper is in English? By the way, great English skills. Thank you so much. But my problem is that I don't really trust my gatekeeper to do the right thing as far as posting to multiple channels. Sometimes inappropriate content is put up on various channels with spelling mistakes, etc. and so forth. So should we be running this through one person, or how do you manage that?
We kind of manage that internally. Birgit, for example, is an author and journalist by trade, so she can check all of our spelling mistakes and commas out of the big blog posts. Does that answer the question? Or
so basically everyone has their has different parts that they take over. So because we're a very big team, so one can see if the spelling is right, the other one can see if the photos, if it's like the right photos, and it's not like that one person is posting on Facebook, on Instagram, and on the blog. So we're like everyone takes a different part.
Okay, but if I post and so it becomes live on the site, I have the capability of doing that, correct? If I'm part of your family?
Yes. You know, for example, yesterday I posted something about Olga Knag, which was in a Hamburg newspaper, and coming from Berlin, I was talking about Hamburg Morgenpost, because we have a Berlin Morgenpost. And somebody wrote on Facebook, well, you're probably thinking about Hamburger Abendblatt. And of course I reacted and corrected it, so it's working.
I'm taking over this. No, the gatekeepers are the editorial board. So if someone is commenting on our blog, we review the comment, and then we give it out to the public domain. So any material is peer-reviewed. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
When we started, we had the fear that there was going to be a shitstorm, for example, sometime. Because Rotary is not very well seen in by everybody. And we thought that something like that would happen. And over the last 22 months, nothing happened in that direction. So we were more afraid of this than it proved true.
Good afternoon. My name is Janet, Rotary Club of Pambula, Australia. Please, I have a simple question which reveals I do not know much about social media. If I want to look at your posts, your blogs, what translation mechanism can I use? I speak no German.
Okay, 95% of our content is in German. We did some English posts for this convention, but most of our posts are in German. You could use Google Translate or Bing Translate, whichever browser you use, to automatically translate those pages. It's a machine translation, so it will not be perfect. But I think it's good enough so you can understand what's going on. That subtitles that you saw in the YouTube video, for example, is translated automatically by YouTube by some artificial intelligence. And you notice that YouTube algorithm doesn't know the words Rotary, Interact, and Rotaract, and will translate it with something weird. That might happen, but I think it's good enough so you can read it.
Okay, thank you.
Sonny Lutzel from East Germany. I've realized Holger, back in you, I assume he was at your presentation. We as the German districts are being ripped off for several years by increased amount of money for renovation of the ROCAS and ROWEB systems. Yes, are you on your way to take each of us into your world? Yes, I would appreciate that very much if you only have in future some interconnection to Rotary.org. That is a wonderful platform, but it takes time to get accustomed. And but the news of international Rotary you can easily pick up. I'm connected via Facebook with a couple of Rotary clubs in Western Australia, and in Brazil. So it's possible to connect via Facebook and YouTube and all your systems, but we should be on our way to form the communication platform for Rotary International.
Yeah, thank you for that question. Actually, we are not, our aim is not to replace one of the systems that are currently running. We are supplementary service, so we are providing a way for Rotarians to get connected to other Rotarians and interactors and Rotaractors and interwheelers. We are not going to take over the official channels of Rotary Org itself or for the Rotary magazine here in Germany.
As I said, we are hyper-local, just as far as the district is concerned, and whatever coming from outside influences or has an impact onto the district.
And as Holger Knark, the upcoming Rotary International President, is member of the District 1940, we did some coverage about his career.
Hello, I'm Inge from Denmark. You do a fantastic work. Thank you for that information you gave us. I am a little bit curious about return on investment. You spend a lot of time. The team is big. How many members have you got for that?
Actually, there are 5 on stage, 3 on the floor, and we have another 5 which are not here, who are not here, and it's a floating number because, you know, students from Rotary leave Berlin and others come, and we are very proud that we have everything from somebody who's just finished high school to retired people of age 80 and so on in our team. And to tell you, the oldest ones are amongst the most active ones as well.
And the other question we will deal with in the second part of the presentation. The last question now for this round.
Okay. Herbert Top from the Rotary Club of Berlin. How well is it accepted with the Rotary and inner wheel clubs? That's where more the old folks are. They're still living in the email age. I guess Facebook, these kind of channels is a little bit of unknown to them. So how well is this accepted, number one? And number two, how well do you get feeds from those clubs?
Well, turn around and you see Ruth. She isn't part of the team, and she's not the youngest member of our team. And I'm the oldest. For the numbers, here is looking, Leonard.
Yeah, working on it.
Okay. Who?
Is it not showing up? No. Okay, so I prepared some stats. So this is the age distribution of our followers on Facebook. You can see Interact and Rotaract bins of this, or buckets of this chart, are the largest, obviously, because this age group is mostly represented on social media. But you can also see that the older generation, 45 and up, is on Facebook and is seeing our content. What is curious, I think, is the age group 35 to 44. Is a generation that is considered too young for Rotary by some clubs, but too old for Rotaract. And I think this is a pretty big issue for the Rotary family in general, so we should try to get these two big bumps up until 34 into the Rotary family and don't lose those to Inner Circle and other companies. Also interesting to see the gender split, especially in the young generation. It's young female people who are interested in our organization.
So the light blue ones are females and the dark blue
sorry,
ones
it's in German. So the top half is female, the bottom half is male.
Right. one last question because, yeah.
Yes, thank you. My name is Uwe Querfeld. I'm from Berlin Mitte, Rotary Club Berlin Mitte, and thank you for bringing the district together with this platform. I think this is a very good idea. It's very helpful, so the different clubs in the district can connect better. My question is, you are posting all of this from the homepage, right? This is like a central medium towards all the different channels that you operate. Is there any way you can do it decentralized? Like, let's say you have a Facebook group and you have a WhatsApp group, and how does this kind of compete with the method that you're using now? I could think that this is more of a control if you have a centralized homepage where you can send it from. But I'm asking also because I have problems in my club. We don't have a homepage yet. People keep telling me that we don't need one because you can go just through these media, you can go through social media and we'll do the same thing. So these are my questions.
Well, we decided to use the blog, which you call a homepage, which is a homepage. We use the blog as a hub where everything meets because there's a big Germans have problems, as you know, with social media because they are afraid of losing data when they go into social media. That's a German thing. And the hub is, the blog is that you don't have to register. You can go there and read everything. For Facebook and Instagram, you have to be in it to use those channels or to see them. Facebook, you can see them, well, yes, but you can't use them. Instagram, you have to be a member of. And that's why we installed that blog to be the hub. And to be honest, we have more on Facebook and on Instagram than we have on the blog because when we react on something, for example, it's not going to be on the blog. Only when we have big stories that we make, or stories that we make ourselves, then they are on the blog. But when we share or comment on Facebook or share something on Instagram, this will not find the way onto the blog. So I would say a website or a blog is important as a hub, and the others are additional. They live individually.
And as you are from Berlin Mitte, so you're in District 1940, a good way for your club is that you send in your photos, your videos, your texts to us, and you can send it via our blog to us, so we can publish it. So that your club members can go on our blog, but also all the other Rotarian family members from the district can see what you're doing. So this is exactly for those clubs who don't have the homepage, who don't have a Facebook group. Our project is exactly for those clubs. So you can just send us your stuff.
And if your club is interested to start a web page, I, as a district internet and communications officer, are happy to support your club in doing so.
Yeah, any more questions, or please also suggestions? What? Okay.
We continue with our discussion after we are done with the presentation, okay? Just some minutes. Thanks.
Well, let me just sum up what we achieved since December 2017 when we started. Well, Rotary, Inner Wheel, Rotary Interact and Rotex, 5 family members, we got them together to collaborate. And by feeding 4 social media channels, which is a blog, a Facebook page, Instagram, and YouTube, as we told you. And we inspired the district, the whole district, the 93 Rotary clubs, the 13 Inner Wheel clubs, 13 Rotary clubs, and the Interact Club and the Rotex members, the 120 clubs in our district. We inspired them to get to action. And we are proud that we live the 2 presidential themes of this and next year, be the inspiration, and Rotary connects the world, and even when we read them, we thought they could have been from our team, invented by our team. I don't know if any amongst you went to the session about the future of Rotary yesterday, and I was very glad to hear that there's going some change in the Rotary world starting this next Rotary year, and one of those aims they have is to get more into modern techniques or into social media, and this, I was very, very happy to hear that we are kind of already on that way, that Rotary International is starting next year.
So now please get out your smartphones and follow us on our social media channels. It's always at Rotary 1940, and you can also use the hashtag 1940. It's also on the walls right there, on your right and your left. And we will be happy to share your pictures and photos. We want to connect with you, with your clubs. So yeah, we will be very happy if you follow us. And yeah, so now we want to take a group selfie to post on our channel. So Leonard will take a picture, so everyone smile, and you can also, yeah, I'm getting it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So you can see the picture on our Instagram and on our Facebook. We will post it then. So now we have some time left for the discussion. So now, if you have any questions left, any suggestions, maybe you can tell us about your project. What's working, what's not working. So maybe we can help you, or maybe you can help us and give some tips to us. So yeah, there's the next question. Here are 2 questions.
Hello, Bill McMurray, Westerville Sunrise in Columbus, Ohio. Unless you use WordPress, so you don't have like a regular web page that's like Rotary 1940, or that thing that's tied into it, or it's just WordPress connects the entire process with Instagram and all the others.
No, we used WordPress as a website tool because this is the one which all of our team members can work with, because usual websites, if you write on them, edit them, you need some technical skills. WordPress is far easier to edit, to work with.
Hi, Jonathan Nish from the Rotary Club of Putney in London, England. Got a question. I'm curious about your branding. You've chosen to use Rotary District 1940, where you could have put Rotary in Berlin or Berlin-Brandenburg, because I guess these channels are external facing, and for people who are not yet in the family of Rotary, 1940 to them might be a year from history, but not necessarily describe a district number, because districts are just a completely foreign concept to people who are not in the family of Rotary. So, did you think about this? What was your thought pattern on branding?
Yes, it is difficult to promote 1940 for a German district, but as our district stretches from Cottbus in the south, most southern-east part of Germany till the Baltic coast, we couldn't call it Berlin or Berlin-Brandenburg, which will exclude some other parts of the district.
Yeah, and also as Rotaractors, as Rotarians, there are a lot of district conferences where like the whole district knows each other and the clubs visit each other, so we didn't want to exclude someone, so we wanted to include the whole district.
But it's a good question, because it was really a big problem to find a name, so this was the best solution we could find. Always thinking about that we do not only do the project for inside Rotary, we also want to make us public to the outside. And this is also one thing, as Edda said, that in our guidelines it's written, please don't use abbreviations or so. This is a very important thing, because we in the Rotary world always think in short forms. DG, NGSE, ICC, whatever. nobody understands it. Not even every Rotarian or every inner wheel person understands it. So even RC instead of Rotary Club, we are very consistent in this, using our abbreviations. For example, what I've said, in order to build no barriers to people that don't know Rotary and the other Rotary family members.
Hello there, I'm Stuart Atkin from the Rotary Club of Durham in the northeast of England. Can you tell me, if you attract new prospective members into our family, where do you allocate them, especially the women? Because we have Inner Wheel, which is exclusively female, and we have Rotary, which is dual gender. So how do you deal with inquiries?
To be honest, in our 2 years of existence, we never had an inquiry like that. I would guess if someone is interested in the Rotary family, they would look in their city what pieces of the Rotary family are present, and I would say they just go visit the different clubs and pick whatever suits them best.
Yeah, but for example, how I came to Rotary was via Facebook. So I found my Rotary club in my city on Facebook and looked at it, and then I saw when they're meeting. And as I was a guest, so I was very new and I didn't know anything. I didn't know what a district was, and I didn't even, I knew about Rotary, but I didn't know about Interact, Inner Wheel, or Rotex. So since we now have it, we hope that new members can also look at it and see what our district is doing.
Sorry, asking another question, but feedback, recommendation, it'll be great for someone like me. I see this as a project, and project management has a step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Some kind of an outline that says, where do we go? We've made the decision, yeah, you've sold me on doing this. I want to go out. What's my first step? And my second part of my question, you're all part of individual clubs, right? Part of your family. Yeah. When you go back to your individual club, what's the message that you're giving them in terms of getting outside of the 4 walls and participating in the hyper-local theme that you're presenting?
Okay, first, if you want to start a project like this, you need a group of people who is dedicated and spending a serious amount of time on this for a few years at least. What was the second part of the question?
But if you want to, we are very happy. You can get our cards and we can do via email or anything. So we would like to connect with you and help you and your clubs or your district.
Yeah, you should outline your audience, the ones you want to get in touch with. You should determine the means how to get to them. For example, we started thinking Facebook is a tool, and then we learned Instagram is a tool. So this is one of the decisions you have to take into consideration at the start of the project.
To be honest, we reinvented us several times. We started with a complete different idea of our blog, for example. We started a blog and poor Sasha did night-long work to program it, and then it didn't work. And poor Sasha had to redo it after we had worked with it. And the same about, as we said, Instagram and Facebook. At first we started just on Facebook, and it's not the channel that is used most, and now we focus more on Instagram. So you have to be very, how do you say, beweglich, flexible. Yeah, thank you. We have to be very flexible. And this is also what is interesting about. I said at the beginning that we have a growing knowledge. I mean, we have growing technical knowledge. We learn things nearly in every meeting. And we have growing knowledge about our audience and also about our acceptance. And we always adapt to that.
Taking turns bring you also to your goal.
Another question. We started streaming live on our Facebook page, our club meeting in the morning,
so that we thought just so that some of our members who weren't able to be with us, if they were able to log in, they could watch, or watch it later by simply going to the Facebook page and going to our video collection and watching. And we're finding we're getting people all over the place, watching, which is great. But in one club meeting, they didn't want to do it live, but they wanted to record it. So on my iPad, I recorded the session. But then what I found was, I think it was too big of a file. Thank you. I'm really adept at this, yeah. So it was too big of a file to email to the people who needed to do that. So the YouTube channel, though, could be a way to get around that kind of a thing. So if we created a YouTube channel for our club or district, and then fed that with videos, then we could do that.
And then you could post the links on Facebook, so everyone who's on Facebook and not on YouTube can see, there's a new video on YouTube about the meeting, and then that would be perfect. I mean, it's perfect that you're streaming it and that you're recording it. I think it's a very great idea.
How many followers do you have on your channels? And the second question is, what did you do marketing-wise to get to that number?
Okay, on Facebook we currently have 520 something. It's all organic, so we didn't pay for any ads or you can pay on Facebook, you can pay for more reach or to reach more people. We didn't do that, so it's all organic. And on Instagram, I think we're at 1,100 something. So Instagram is twice as big as Facebook.
Yeah. What did you do to get to that number?
So for example, I can only speak for Instagram, but for example, we try to post a lot, we try to connect a lot with other people. So we followed each club, like each Rotary club of our district. And for example, when we did the Paula Goes India postings, so where Paula shared her photos from India, a lot of Indian Rotaractors and Interactors also followed us because they wanted to see it. So, we are always present on district conferences and district projects, and we try to tell every club in our district. We give them our cards. It's the branding where we're present with our shirts so that they know about us.
Plus, we also tag people in or other clubs, other districts in the post, so it shows up in their feed, and their friends see it again, and so on. Also, in other clubs in our district, we have their own social media presence. They have their own Facebook page. They like to tag us so we can share their posts. So the original content is with them, we're just sharing.
It's also a big work to go into pages of other clubs and go through them and and monitor them and share. This is a bit of a work which I'm doing nearly every second day, just to look through it and be present also with our likes on their Facebook accounts.
Would you make your blog or your district website as a template available to others?
Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, actually, this template now is one of the default templates of Facebook of WordPress. We didn't do our own template yet.
Okay. Hello, I'm Christian Rudnick from Rotary Club of Rostock, and I'm not so familiar with Instagram. We have heard it's very important, so I'm not so with social media. Could you explain how to join Instagram if it's so important? We should use it, I think.
Yeah, so Instagram, as we already said, Instagram is basically for the younger people, as though a lot of people are joining again. So, what is it? Okay. You're too old? Yeah, no. But, so you say that, for example, like 12 to 25, like in that age, people use Snapchat a lot, and then you have like 20 to 35, those people use Instagram a lot. So as Rotarians, as you as you want to get involved with Rotaract, I think it's very, very important for you to be on Instagram. So you can share your photos, you can show how, like what your club is doing, you can share photos from meetings, so also the younger people can get involved. And how you make an account is very, very, very simple. You go on Instagram, and then you give your christian.rudnick@gmail.com email. He's my father, by the way. So, so that's why I can make an account for him. So yeah, and then you have your account. Then it's just very important to post pictures every other day, so that they see that you're active, so others want to get involved with you. And then you can also have direct messages, so one club can text another club and they can share their ideas about projects maybe together and can connect. So yeah.
But something about age. We had that social media salon, as you've seen probably, that was the meeting with the keynote speaker where we invited people to spread our idea in a small setting. There was one Rotarian about my age, for example, maybe a bit older, and he has never been into social media. And now, and then he decided, well, Instagram could be my media. And he got into Instagram, and now he is a daily poster. And it's very interesting. I like his posts. He understood the idea of Instagram. He uses it for his club, and he uses a private channel. So there is no age question, so to say.
No, but it's that more younger people are using it. And what's also important for those who don't want to share their own photos, you don't need to share photos. So as a private person, you can get there and get your own name, and you don't have to share any photos. You can just like follow other people and then see their photos. But if you're there as a club, I would recommend to you that you share a lot of photos and videos and impressions.
Oh my dear, there will be a long discussion this evening, I think, with your father.
Yeah. So, any other questions? We have about 15 minutes left.
Or suggestions, please tell us about your social media experiences with your club or with your district. Please. We are here to exchange ideas. We also want to learn something. Anybody who's got a Facebook page or a blog for his club, or tell us about.
Yes, some questions.
Okay.
I'm back again. Our Rotary Club has a tendency for everybody seems to be on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or anything else that's out there. And everybody does things like, for instance, we have a Rotary meeting, we have an interesting speaker, we will record his what he was saying, or just do a quick blog post, and it will end up all over the place wherever we do. I've been on Facebook for many, many years. There are about 2,500 friends on Facebook, but most of them youth exchange students. But you get a lot of information out by just doing that, just a general thing like a Rotary meeting or a special project. Instagram, we always put on every event we do, everybody loads it onto their own Instagram and then cross-shares it back and forth to other groups. And we don't have the organized system that you have, which I think is amazing. I'm going to talk about it when we get back. But I think even in our club, which is only 140 members, we can get a lot of information back out, especially into the community. So we do it that way too. Hope that helps.
Great, thank you. And also, please share your photos with us.
My name is Ronald Heinmarsch from Rotary Club Wolfswede, Germany, just around the corner here. My question is, while you have over 1,000 followers, do you have any data or experience how many new members you get in your club, or how many interested, active people you can gain from the social media in general?
I think there's no information, because we're not doing like a like a monitoring on why did you become a member because of the social media team or not. So we don't actually have that.
This is going to be the next step in the project.
Talking about the number of followers, it was very interesting. We did an experiment this Advent. We made again an Advent calendar. We actually did 2 Advent calendars. One, 24 projects of the different clubs, and the other one was a question every day. A quiz about the Rotarian family. Questions about the 5 members, about history and statistics and so on. And this we did because we wanted to initiate comments. Because we found out that in Germany it's very difficult in our field to get comments on the Facebook links or Instagram. And with this idea of the questions, they could win something, we found out that we have many more people following us without being friends of our page, because all of a sudden names commented something we've never seen or heard of before. So I would say we have more than 3 times the people, or 4 times the people that really follow us, which are no fans of our, didn't put a like onto the page. Das war zuerst. Back there at the first.
Good afternoon. My name is Ran Lever from the Rotary Club of Afeka Avivtek from Tel Aviv, Israel. We are quite a big delegation here from Israel this time. Our club is a e-club and is unique in Israel and generally in Rotary organization in particularly. We are the only club that is a high-tech club. All our 62 members, and now we will have another 6, are from the high-tech industry, chairman of the board, chief executive officers, and so on. As it by our DNA and our nature, of course we established several aims and several means of communication in the club. By the way, next week we will have our president installation, and Barry, the president of Rotary, will be our guest in Tel Aviv. He's coming next week to Israel, and he will be our guest. And as I said, as a unique club, he come to visit and to see our president installation. We are now, the first aim is we are now building, again, it's a unique and a global Rotary community of high-tech people by our club, and we are picking in each individual club around the world someone from the high-tech industry. I have met several clubs here. Among others, we make an agreement with a district of Sweden, and we build some specific relationship. So as I said, this is one of the way to communicate with people. Through this international or global community. Then we have layers that we are supplying details to the members by having data in the Gmail, by putting all the information, lectures, and so on, because we have also a startup meeting to put it. And then, of course, website, which is very active. Facebook, not that much, because most of the information we try to put on the website. And now our intention is really to focus not on the general public, but mainly on Rotary's people and our members.
Okay, thank
you. So this is what we are doing, and it's specific serve our aims and our purpose.
Thank you for giving us an insight. Anybody else? Yeah.
Okay, we have 10 minutes.
Yes, yeah, we know.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
We have 2 more questions here, 3. And
My
question. I just wanted to share the power of Facebook. Last year, I assisted some Rotarian who was carrying a shelter box from Scotland down to England. And when he got to one point, his picture was taken and posted on Facebook. Now, he had a target of over £2,000. He ended up raising £25,000 because his picture was shared on Facebook. So the power of Facebook is amazing.
Yeah.
That's great. It's wonderful to hear.
That's why we asked you to share and comment, please.
I was just going to suggest with our Facebook page, I wasn't doing it at first, and silly me, but now, is with our club's Facebook page, whenever we have, the community gets shared out and people like the picture, but you get a notice that someone liked your picture and you can invite them to then like your page. They never say no. I mean, well, maybe they do. I don't get a notice that they said no.
That's
but
why I do every day.
Yeah, and I've doubled, our followers, I've doubled them in the last 2 months. So, which is, we're up to about 1,000 followers now, just because of inviting people that like our pictures.
Yeah, that's important. That's one thing we also do. Okay.
No, it's a very German name, Norbert. Yes. Sorry, but I'm back again. Can we use your...
It's fine. We're very happy.
Love your logo. Can we use it?
The connected hands. The link
yes, the hands with the logo.
Yes, please do so.
Okay. Can it be modified to make it 4 hands instead of 5?
No way.
No, because we don't have a
indirect or
rotex. Unless it's called a different word in the States.
That's one. You have?
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is inner wheel? See, that shows my naivete, but I have to ask dumb questions.
No, we can certainly send you the logo file. That's a vector graphic, so you can modify it if you want.
Can you send us a PNG file as well?
Yeah, we can also send you a PSD, so you can work with it. So, we have talked so much about social media and social media tools. There's another social media tool which you might have downloaded as well, the Rotary Event app. And we'd like you to rate our session on this app. Thank you for coming and share and connect.
Please use our frames and take pictures with your new friends that you've just met. Post them on Instagram or on Facebook and tag us, and we will be very happy to share. Use our hashtags and add us. Yeah.
We've got the frame in German and in English.
Thank you very much. And for any questions, if you have personal questions for us, we will be around outside of the room. So you can just ask us and maybe we can connect.